In 1916, the same peasant leaders came. For example, there was Rajkumar Shukla and other leaders, and they invited Gandhi that Gandhiji, please come Bihar. Bas, please come Bihar. Okay, in Champaran, there is a problem of indigo peasants, and you have to solve this problem of indigo peasants. Clear? Gandhi said, what is the problem? He became familiar with the problem, and then Gandhi decided that he will go to Champaran to solve the problem of the peasants. So this will be the first Satyagraha of Gandhi in India. The year is 1917, and this is called Champaran Satyagraha. Write this topic, Champaran Satyagraha. Champaran Satyagraha, and the year is 1917. Champaran is in Bihar. Champaran is in Bihar. Clear? So we have to understand the nature of the problem. What was the nature of the problem here? The indigo peasants problem was there, no? So what was the nature of the problem? So in India, indigo cultivation in India was very much profitable for the British. Clear? And there were two kinds of crops. One is what? Food crop. And the second category is cash crop. So indigo, opium, tea, jute, all were in the category of cash crops. Clear? So the indigo cultivation was highly profitable for British in India. So the British did what? Indigo plantations. They set up indigo plantations in India. Like in South Africa, they have set up plantations now, sugar plantations and all this thing. So in India, the British set up indigo plantations. And in this indigo plantation, they adopted different methods for this. In indigo plantation, they adopted different methods of cultivation. So in Champaran, one method is popular here. The different methods I will discuss in indigo revolt. Here I am going to discuss with you one method, and the method is that, okay, for example, if you are an indigo planter, okay, so you will need labor to work in your plantations. You will need labor to work in your plantations. And the problem was that the harvesting season, clear, of indigo crop plus some major food crops, okay, this was the same. So the indigo planters were always facing this problem of a scarcity of labor in indigo cultivation. So they found an alternative solution. And what is this alternative solution? They came to the peasants and they gave them offer. Clear? And what is the offer? This is very interesting. They say to the peasants that, let's consider this is your land. This is your land. Clear? So there is a word, kattha. So those who are from Bihar, they may be familiar with this word. Kattha as a unit of measurement of land. How many of you are familiar? Kattha, familiar? Very good. Okay, kattha. Kattha is a measure of unit of measurement of land. Okay, and one kattha, it is divided into 20 parts. So the local word is dhur. Kattha, dhur. Wahan pe use hota hai in Bihar. So this word is important, kattha. So this kattha, one kattha of land is divided into how many parts? 20. This was divided into how many parts? 20 parts. Clear? So one kattha of land is divided into 20 parts. Now British are asking Indian peasants that cultivate indigo, you will gain profits. Indigo peasant in India said that no, we will not cultivate indigo. Clear? British will convince them. They will say that we will pay you advance amount of money to cultivate indigo. Advance payment for cultivation is known as dadani. This is a word. Again, it is important. Write this, dadani. This is a keyword. Dadani means what? Giving advance payment for cultivation of cash crops. Write this, dadani. Dadani is what? Giving advance payment for the cultivation of cash crops. Right? This was dadani. Right? Giving advance payment for the cultivation of cash crops. So what was happening here? Advance payment. They offered peasants advance payments, right? And these advance payments, they are asking peasants that you don't have to grow indigo on all your farm. For example, different peasants have different farm sizes. So what you have to do, for example, this is your land. So in 3 parts of this land, not all part, how many part? 3 part of this land. It means 3 upon 20. you will cultivate indigo. 3 out of 20 part you have to cultivate indigo, and we are paying you advance for this, Dadani. This system is called Teen Kathiya system. Write this word. This system is called Teen Kathiya system. Have you understood the word? Teen means 3 and Kathiya, Teen Kathiya system. It means you will cultivate indigo on these 3 parts only. 3 parts only. And we are giving advance payment for you for this. Clear? Now, the peasants came in the trap of the British. They will give you advance payment. For example, if I have given you 100 rupees for this advance payment, 100 rupees for the cultivation of indigo. When harvesting is done, the peasant, was he connected to the market? No, he was not connected with the markets in Bengal and all this, and European markets to dur ki baat hai. And British were connected to the European markets. So you have cultivated indigo and you don't know where to sell this indigo, right? Because this indigo was used in industries, textile industries in Europe, okay, to color the cloths and all this thing, dyeing the cloths, all this. So 100 rupees. Now you have cultivated indigo. Now indigo peasant, now the cultivator will come and will say that, okay, you have not done cultivation properly according to the instructions which we have given you. It means the payment of this indigo should be how much? 80 rupees. It means you have not cultivated indigo properly. It means we have given advance of 100 and now the cost is 80. Now this 20 is loan on you. So return us our 20 rupees. And the indigo cultivators already signed what? An agreement with the peasant. And the agreement was written in which language? And judiciary system was developed by whom? And judges, you all know, Indian party, then the judge, one party is British, then the judge will always be British. So decision will also come in the favor of British. So what will happen? The peasant has 2 options, either to return that 20 rupees or to sign the new agreement. So the peasant is bound to sign the new agreement because peasant does not have this cash money. Clear? If he will borrow the money from Sahukar, so he will again come into debt now. So you have signed another agreement. Now the next harvesting season, and they will pay advance you also. You have 2 options, either return 20 rupees or take 100 rupees in advance. For the next cultivation, you take 100 rupees again in advance. Next harvesting season comes, British government says that this time the value of the crop is 70 rupees. So we are suffering loss of 30 rupees. So either you pay us how many? 50 rupees or take advance payment of 100 rupees and again grow indigo. Do you understand what is happening? The peasants are trapped. Clear? And now they were cultivating indigo from many years. From 50 to 70 years, the peasants were cultivating indigo. Now it was also not the concern of the peasants because they have just accepted and adopted this system. And British are very smart. You are cultivating in 3 parts. So after 2 or 3 harvesting season, the British suggest that now cultivate indigo on these 3 parts. Now cultivate indigo on these 3 parts. Do you know? Continuous cultivation, fertility issue and all this. So in this way, they were earning a lot from the indigo peasants in India. And they were selling this indigo in European markets. Okay, you can say that on 200 times, 300 times more on what they are purchasing from indigo peasants. But indigo peasants don't have problem. 50, 70 years have passed. This is the form of exploitation of the indigo peasant. Now what happened? It means you have accepted this. Okay, we are cultivating indigo and we are also gaining something. This is cash crop, na? So this system, cash crop, this system has been systematic in Champaran. Now the problem is that, okay, in 1917, what happens in Europe? What happens in Europe is that synthetic dyes were discovered. What is discovered? Synthetic dyes were discovered. Okay, discovered, basically it was discovered in Germany. In Germany, the chemicals and all these things they discovered first. So synthetic dyes were discovered in Germany. Now these synthetic dyes were cheap, plus the color is more bright, it is more effective. So what will happen in European markets? The demand for indigo will come down. Demand for indigo will come down. because synthetic dye will replace this demand for Indian indigo. Now what British will do? Okay, if you are doing continuous business, so there are some credit, clear? So British had to pay Indian peasants their remaining dues. For example, earlier they were paying what? Advance. Later on they did what? Okay, you have dependent on this, and now there are some unclear dues of the peasants. So first thing, British not clearing the dues of the peasants. And second, okay, if you have asked the peasants to cultivate indigo, then you should purchase it. Otherwise, this will be a loss for the peasants now. So these are the demands of the Indian peasants, that our dues should be cleared. Plus, if you have given us this order to cultivate indigo, so you should, okay, purchase it. Otherwise, we should compensate our loss. This is the main concern. Have you understood? So in Champaran, the issue was related to indigo peasants. Now, Gandhi arrives in Champaran. Now this message will reach to the British, and British will say, ये वही गांधी है क्या जो साउथ अफ्रीका में था? फिर से हाँ, ये तो वही है. This is the same Gandhi. Now the British authorities will issue an order. And what is the order? You will return back from Champaran. Clear? You are not allowed to do protest. Okay. You are not allowed to go to Champaran. So this is what? Instructions of state. And what is the principal teaching? When moral law and state law are in a state of conflict, so what should be done? So Gandhi says that, okay, this time I will do civil disobedience. Civil disobedience also means what? Disobeying the order of the administrative officers. Clear? So he disobeyed the order. He reached Champaran. So this is also called first act of civil disobedience in India. Do you understand how? First act of civil disobedience, he is disobeying the order of the authority. So this is the first act of civil disobedience of Gandhi in India also. Okay, so he reached there. And now the leaders who has invited Gandhi were Rajkumar Shukla, Rajendra Prasad, Braj Kishore, Mahadev Desai, Mazharul Haq, JB Kripalani. All these will become prominent leaders. ठीक है? They come in contact with Gandhi. तो ढूंढते रहो, आपके जीवन में जैसे ही गांधी मिले तो जुड़ जाओ उसके साथ. क्या होगा? ठीक है? So all these are the local leaders who came in contact with Gandhi, and thousands of people are assembled in Champaran because the people of Bihar, Champaran, they are always waiting for a savior who will come and solve their miseries, solve their problems. So they have heard of Gandhi, and now thousands of people are assembled at a place, and Gandhi just started his agitation, peaceful agitation. Okay, and now British government is in immense pressure. British government does not this matter, okay, that if this matter will go longer, so this will create problem for the British, because Gandhi will write articles in international journals. So as soon as Gandhi reaches there, देखो ये है colonial mindset, ठीक है? Movement को लंबे समय तक चलने नहीं देना. As soon as Gandhi reaches there, British government announces a committee to be formed. That is Champaran Agrarian Committee. Clear? And that committee will have this opinion that this Tinkatia system should be abolished. This is highly discriminatory in nature. But what can you do to abolish after 1917? Do you understand the colonial policies? 1917, the demand of indigo in European markets has declined. So do you think that the British need this Tinkatia system? No. And the committee says what? This Tinkatia system is discriminatory. This is not good. This should be abolished. This is British committee. Second point, the committee says that the illegal dues of the peasants must be cleared. Okay. So these are the two decisions of the Champaran Agrarian Committee. So people find their solution. The solution is not complete, but yet this is a middle path solution, which Gandhi will accept. The committee says what? Clearing the dues of the peasants. Clear? So this is Champaran Satyagraha. And now this act of Champaran Satyagraha will make Gandhi popular in Bihar. the state which he never visited. This act of Satyagraha will make Gandhi popular among peasants. Peasants के साथ कभी रहे थे क्या वो? Indigo peasants or peasants? No. So among peasants class, Gandhi's popularity will increase. In Bihar, Gandhi's popularity will increase. So before Gandhi becomes a national leader, already he is a international leader. Now he is emerging as a peasant leader. Now he is emerging as a regional leader from Bihar. These are the important associates of Gandhi. So this is what Champaran Satyagraha. So write some important points here. The first is first act of civil disobedience. First act of civil disobedience. This was first act of civil disobedience. Issues likh liya na, have written the issues na? Okay. First act of civil disobedience. Right. Next point. Next. The leaders who invited Gandhi. The name is important for prelims. The leaders who invited Gandhi. The name is important for prelims. Leaders who invited Gandhi. Right. Rajkumar Shukla. One is Rajkumar Shukla. The leaders who invited Gandhi. Rajkumar Shukla. Right. Next. Rajendra Prasad. Rajkumar Shukla. Rajendra Prasad. J.B. Kripalani. J.B. Kripalani. Mahadev Desai. Mazhar ul Haq. Mahadev Desai. Mazhar ul Haq. Mazhar ul Haq. Narhari Parekh, etc. Narhari Parekh, etc. Narhari Parekh, etc. These are the leaders who invited Gandhi. Narhari Parekh, etc. Narhari Parekh, etc. Okay. So some of the names are very important. These four are very important. Okay. I have written in the priority of their importance, right? So these are the names. Okay. UPSC never asked this question, that who was the first peasant leader to invite Gandhi. That was Rajkumar Shukla. Clear? And these are the other leaders. But you should know this. Now we are moving ahead. This issue, have you understood? कुछ लिखना है इसमें? Dictate करूं कि समझ गए? Very easy to understand. Okay, what was the issue? Now the second is, right? Second issue is, okay. Second is what? Ahmedabad mill strike. Ahmedabad mill strike. Champaran Agrarian Committee. Okay, and what was the view of Agrarian Committee? First, abolition of Tinkatia system and clearing the dues. Clear? Champaran Agrarian Committee. And this was a middle path solution. Clear? This was a middle path solution. Right? Champaran Agrarian Committee, clearing the dues of the peasants. Okay, and all this. Now, right, second. Second is Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad mill strike. Ahmedabad mill strike. What is the chronological order? So this is the chronological order. You remember, na? So the second is Ahmedabad mill strike. And this time, Ahmedabad issue is related to which state? Gujarat. Okay. And this is a mill strike. It means here, there is a deadlock between mill owners and workers. So at this, the deadlock between mill owners and workers. Here we see the deadlock between mill owners, the deadlock between mill owners and workers, right? We see the deadlock between mill owners and workers, right? And the most important thing, the mill owners were Indians, right? The mill owners were Indians. The mill owners were Indians. Now, this is the difficult situation for Gandhi. There is a deadlock between two groups, and both of these groups are Indians. Clear? So this is a very difficult situation for Gandhi. So what Gandhi will do this time, he will use a weapon. Which weapon? अपने तो अपने होते हैं. Your parents use which weapon? Hunger strike. Clear? Hunger strike. Use करते हैं ना? ठीक है? And you are easily convinced by this hunger strike. So Gandhi will use this technique. Write this. Okay. So write this. Both these group are Indians. There is a deadlock between both these two. So this is a difficult situation for Gandhi. This is a difficult situation for Gandhi. This is a difficult situation for Gandhi.